Now, I'm a man who is easy to please. That is the truth. You know, a cold beer, watching the footy. And one of those simple pleasures is making fun of people who think they're correct in their assumption, correct in what they've done, but the fact is that they're not. And then I get to go, you're an idiot. Get out. Get the hell out of here, you know? And if that doesn't make any sense, well, you're right, it doesn't. It makes no sense. But anyway, I'm on, again, Am I the Arsehole? And I can't get away from this Reddit. As much as I'm like, no, I won't do another one of those. I am. I'm here. I'm live. Well, for me, I'm live. For you, I'm probably a week old. I'm like a week old leftover. You know you have to get rid of me, but you just don't have the stomach to open me up and see if I've gone off. I definitely have, because I'm a week old. So basically I'm going to go through and look at a couple of these and go, you are a moron, you were wrong. Or, in some cases, I go, hey, you've been done wrong here, honey. You know what I mean? So let's do that. Am I the arsehole for... okay, wait. Am I the arsehole for telling my sister she's not allowed to compare my daughter's death to her cat? Do I even need to go through this? Like, let's be completely real. What? Why would you even have to say this to your sister? Obviously, it's not the same thing. Like, listen, I love my dog to death, but there's in no realm that I would go, yeah, he died. It's the same as your child, whom you birthed out of yourself. Human. It's a human. Let's just say that. The deaths are not the same, okay? So I, female 38, lost my daughter 15. Just 2 weeks ago. She got leukemia 4 years ago and it ended up spreading throughout her body. She fought very hard for a long time. Anyway, since the loss of my daughter, a lot of people have been trying to comfort me. And I understand they are just trying their best, but it doesn't always help. My sister, who doesn't have kids, personal choice of hers, female 36, well, it makes sense that she doesn't have kids. I don't care if you decide to never have children, that's your choice. I just want to point something out. Why is it most people who decide to not have children become cat people? I think that's some type of thing we need to study, because there is a correlation there somewhere. I don't know what it is, I'm not a scientist, but there's a correlation between people who own not just one cat, because I don't mind cats. I think they're decent. I've had a cat before. There's a correlation between people who own cats and don't have children. And I think that needs to be explored. I think that needs to be, forget all, the moon, Mars. No. We need to look at the correlation between cat people and childless. That's what we need to look at and see what's the correlation there? What's happening? That's what I think. That's very much a Mr. Burns stature right there. Excellent. My sister, who doesn't have kids, specifically has been the worst at trying to help me. A year ago, she had to put down a 16-year-old cat, whom I lost a pet before, so I know how difficult that can be, but it's different to losing an actual human daughter. 16? That's a long time for a pet. I mean, if my dog lasts till he's 16, that's a good run, because he's fat. She said things like, I know how you feel because of the loss of my cat. She was my child. I understand animals are like family, but my daughter and her cat aren't the same. I was trying to ignore her and let her comfort me with how she felt. But today she came over and started talking about how she knows exactly how I feel because of her cat. I finally got upset and said, no you don't. Yes, pets can be part of the family and mean a lot to you. I understand losing a cat was hard, but my daughter was my daughter. So until you experience that type of grief, and if you've seen your daughter die slowly from a horrible disease, you aren't allowed to act like losing a cat is the same thing. I talked to a few people and they agreed that I acted like an arsehole. So am I? No. Whoever those people are, they're dim. They're dim. They're dim like the light that you haven't changed for 6 years, and you need to change, but it's not quite dead yet. It's like people who compare, having a puppy's just like having a baby. No, it's not. Are you kidding? A puppy's way more durable. You bloody put a thumb into the top of the bloody baby's head, it's dead. That's it. It's done. You accidentally roll it over wrong and it's that's it. Crippled for life. No, it's not the same. You're not the arsehole. Don't worry about it. Your sister's just being a bit of a weirdo. Maybe explain to her how it's different, because maybe she doesn't get it. Weirdly enough, she's a 36-year-old woman. She should understand how it's different, but maybe you should explain to her. Maybe she's not all there. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Am I the arsehole for telling my parents and brother if they wanted his ex removed from my wedding picture, then they had to pay for it? Just going from the headline. Going from the title, no, you're not the arsehole, because that's a ridiculous request. But, maybe Maybe she was the worst. My brother goes through women like I go through socks. I could not relate. Not even close. I gave him +1 for my wedding 2 years ago. He bought his girlfriend at the time. When we were doing the family pictures, he wanted his girlfriend in the pictures. I said we could do some with her and some without. He got mad that I allowed my sister to have her fiancé in all the pictures and my brother was allowed to have his boyfriend of 5 years, but that I had the audacity to exclude his girlfriend of the week. This is where you're definitely not the asshole, because you gave him the out. You know, if this little rendezvous didn't work out, I don't know why I'm bobbling my head around like that. If this little rendezvous didn't work out, then guess what? You got some photos where you can look back and go, wow, that was a great wedding. Who was I there with at the time? Oh, I can't remember, because she's not in the photos. You're exonerated. You are not the asshole. That's it. You're done. He was the one who insisted on having her in every photo. So, hey, you hold your hands up. You're fine. If they want her out, then they got to get in there and get in fucking Photoshop. That's all I'm saying. Am I the arsehole for kicking my husband's friend and his daughter out of my home knowing they had nowhere to go? I, 32 female, my husband, 32 male, live with our sons, 12 male, 14 male, and 3 cats. 3 cats. Who needs 3 cats? 2 cats I can see. 3? That's asking for trouble. That's too much. My husband has ASD. I don't know what that is. I should probably look that up. I love when they make me look up things. Can't they just put that in the fucking thing? You're already writing an essay. ASD. Australian Signal Direct... No, that can't be right. Autism, now called autism spectrum disorder. Well, just say he's got autism. Everyone knows what that is. No one knows what ASD is. My husband has autism, which makes it hard for him to maintain a job. This hasn't been a problem for me, as I make a decent wage and can afford a modest but decent life for our family of 4. In 2020, my husband worked at a fast food restaurant for a couple of months and met a homeless man. Okay. So they weren't friends, but they became friends. Okay, so it's not like a friend they knew from, like knowing other adults. He just met this random homeless guy. All right. Hey, and listen, he might have been a cool homeless guy. I don't know. I have nothing against the homeless. Good luck to him, I say. My husband met a homeless man who he quickly became friends with. We call him Rob. Hey, is that a euphemism? Do you call him Rob because he steals? That's fucked up. Just because he's homeless. One cold night, Rob and his then girlfriend asked to stay with us for a while. We had a guest room, and though uncomfortable, I agreed. I don't know if I'd let just a random homeless guy that I didn't know, just into my house. If it was like a homeless person that I was friends with 10 years before that, and then they became homeless, then I'd let them stay. But a random homeless guy that I met at KFC, I've a lot to give, but that's too much. After a week, their nightly arguments between each other and the general household hygiene were too much to bear, so I kicked them out. When they left, the guest room was trashed, and there were pills and needles everywhere. Okay, well... I came in this thinking you were going to be the asshole, but we've got 3 out of 3. You're not the asshole. I don't even have to continue. That was needles and pills, and it's trashed. I don't blame you. I honestly don't. We'll continue anyway, but as a mother, this disturbed me, and I've never stopped being wary of Rob. Fast forward to July 1st, 2023. Our guest room has been turned into a storage room, and it would take work to get it livable again. Rob has broken up with his girlfriend and has gotten custody of his daughter, 15 female. Rob was sick of living with his parents and burned bridges with them. Okay, so he's got nowhere to live. He lives with his parents, but then he's like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I'd prefer to be on the street, so get me out of here. How bad can it be at the parents? My husband came to me panicked one evening, asking me to go pick them up, because they have nowhere else to go. For context, only I drive. Reluctantly, I agreed to host Rob, mostly because I can't stand his daughter. We'll call her Anne, being on the street. With the guest room out of commission, they take my eldest son's room. Both sons have bunk beds, so I figure it'll be manageable temporarily. Initially, Rob promises to be out in a week. I knew it was a lie, and he had no money and no plans, but I wasn't concerned that it would take longer. Living with these two has been awful. They don't pay rent or do chores. Rob only works about 3 days a week. Anne eats all our expensive snack food and refuses to eat meals I cook. Rob has ruined our yard with cigarette butts and trash everywhere. Their dog has dug in multiple places and they're not training him not to. My son's room is trashed by them and they've broken dishes. They don't clean the sink after using it and they don't flush the toilet. They're homeless, not animals. Flush the toilet. How hard... Shh. Why has your husband done this to you? Yeah, listen, I don't care how autistic someone is. This is crazy. Why... Don't bring these people into your house. Just go, listen, fucking husband. No. Rob and his daughter and his fucking weird dog are not coming in this house. Alright, I'm sick of it. At this point, I'm the only one who cleans, cooks, and pays the bills. I can't do it for 2 extra people. I told my husband I want them gone before my son turns 15 in October. He said I'm being unreasonable. They have nowhere to go. I told him a shelter may have the resources for them, and I can't handle this anymore. It's not my fault they're in the situation, and I can't live like this. I don't think my sons deserve this either. Am I the arsehole? Lady, you're not. Your husband needs to stop taking in strays. Listen, as much as he thinks he's doing a good thing, this man Rob is taking advantage, and it needs to stop. Alright, that's enough AITA for one day. These people make me sad. Everybody I've read, it was fun making fun, but I am just sad now. I'll see you later. Like and subscribe and all that shit. Good. Bye. Alright.
Shifty Drongo. I love Shifty Drongo.